What's up, guys? The Art of Streaming here, and a new season of Mandalorian is upon us, but some of you might be a little bit confused if you didn't watch the Book of Boba Fett. Now, I'm going to get into all of that, but I will say there are going to be major spoilers going forward for the Book of Boba Fett, so keep that in mind. Now, before I get into it, I will say that I wasn't the biggest Book of Boba Fett fan. Not that it was a bad show, it's just the first couple of episodes didn't really hold my attention, and I actually stopped watching it after the 4th episode. That's until I found out episode 5 and 6 were actually pretty much Mandalorian episodes. These two episodes actually ended up being two of my favorite episodes in the Mandalorian storyline, and they had a pretty important job of filling us in on what happened in between Season 2 and led us into Season 3. I highly recommend watching these two episodes on your own, but if you don't want to, I'll give you a brief rundown of what you guys missed. As you may remember, at the end of Season 2 of The Mandalorian, Mando ended up defeating Moff Gideon, gaining control of the Darksaber, and also handing over Grogu to Luke Skywalker. Well, Episode 5 picks up with Mando traveling to the Armorer with the Darksaber, and he tells the Armorer that he's having trouble wielding the Darksaber, to which she tells him that his mind is clouded from being apart from Grogu. The Armorer asks Mando if he ever took off his helmet, and Mando ends up telling the truth here, to which the Armorer replies he is no longer a Mandalorian, and the only way that he can redeem himself is by going to the living waters in the mines beneath Mandalore and washing himself, which is going to be pretty difficult to do considering Mandalore is now destroyed. Mando is now off to find a replacement for his destroyed ship, the Razor Crest, so he ends up going to his old friend Pelimoto the mechanic, who happens to find an old Naboo N1 starfighter, which some of you may recognize from The Phantom Menace. She ends up fixing up the starfighter and replaces the droid seat with a mini cockpit that can only really fit one person that we know. Mando is then off to go see Grogu, who is now training to become a Jedi with Luke Skywalker. Upon arrival, Ahsoka Tano tells Mando that his visitation there would only disrupt Grogu's training, so Mando decides to leave, but asks her to give Grogu a gift, Beskar chainmail to protect the little guy. While training Grogu, Luke notices that he is distracted from being separated from Mando, so Luke decides to give Grogu a choice, either continue training as a Jedi or go back with Mando. Of course, Grogu chooses Mando. By the finale of the Book of Boba Fett, we finally end up seeing Grogu and Mando reunited, which leads us into Season 3 of The Mandalorian. While, in my opinion, it was kind of a strange move to incorporate such major plot points into a completely different show than The Mandalorian, I'm glad that Grogu and Mando finally got reunited. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my content in order to see more videos like this. This has been The Art of Streaming, and I will see you guys next time.